So we need to talk about the Tech Plus being back with the patch. How I like to use it is in the transitional phase at the moment, because what it was like beforehand to now, if you guys remember beforehand, it was very like super quick, like faster than sprinting, but you had really close control. Obviously the patch came out and it changed, and now they've kind of reverted it back. The way I like to use it is definitely around the box and inside the box with certain players, specifically with Technical Plus. But another way I like to use it as well is in the midfield when you're transitioning, because sometimes I feel like when you're trying to send a player on a run, the left stick dribble does do the job, but sometimes I like to use Technical to get that extra like yard of space to open up the passing lane along that sort of direction, whether it's going to go out wide or go short. Does help out massively for me with a Tech Plus in that scenario.
I think it's like something that when they patched it, it was devastating because it was one of the better ways to progress the ball up the field. You turn the ball over and you're able to just kind of get that in between sprinting and having that control. So when they patched into the ground, I was devastated because I was using it quite a lot, having Yamal, Bon Mati, and now this Pele Evo, all of which have got Technical Plus. The way you were able to progress the ball, they've balanced it really well, haven't they? It's close to what it was before, but it's not. It doesn't feel like Bon Mati is sprinting all over the place. I think it's just it just gives you that perfect balance to just transition from defence to attack quite comfortably.
And when you get the ball forward, I know you talked about the wide areas, Nanik. Personally, sometimes you like isolate the fullback, and sometimes you do actually turn them and you've kind of like committed the fullback and you've got a little bit of space and you had no way to then like punish the defender. But now with a tech dribble, if, for example, you cut in and you're in between that fullback and centre-back spot, you've got a way just to keep the ball close but actually move fairly quickly, which means that you could get off a nice angle for low driven, or you can then be able to cut back, and it almost causes panic in defenders. It was a little bit too easy for defenders to jockey because you had no way around them. And the way that the tech dribble is now, the controlled sprint, you've kindly got that little yard of space, which is huge, in just creating that little bit of an opening, which before was a bit tricky to make.
One thing that's massive for me is when you are in that situation again, when the second patch came out, when technical didn't work at all anymore, people were doing really well with defending because you couldn't get past them. What I like about the patch that's come out now is it's like, I think Aaron was saying it before recording, the balance is practically perfect for it at the moment, especially where jockey speed got improved. You needed something to counter that jockey speed a little bit, so it isn't just I can jockey left, I can jockey right, you can't get past me. The technical dribble does definitely give you an extra element of attack again, which we so desperately need all of a sudden.
Which is interesting because when this update and this live tuning got announced, people were like, oh, it's the return of the fidget spinners. Actually, I think it's less fidget spinner because you had to fidget spin. I hate the term fidget spin, but you had to kind of like turn with left stick because you didn't have a way to actually create that little bit of a space. Yeah. I'm finding people do the spinning round less, and I'm spinning around less because now as soon as you've got a little bit of an angle, you can actually punish the defence. So I think it's actually got a little bit more, not realistic because FC is not realistic, but less literally turning on the spot.
One of the biggest benefits I found to using is when you break their midfield line, you don't have to sprint towards their back line to try and, progress the play as fast as possible, because your other option was to walk and then the midfield would just catch you back up. So you're able to maintain somewhat a distance from their backtracking midfielder. They'll still catch you eventually, but you can still get that 5-10 yards on them with it and then be able to stop, turn, pick a pass and just do something with the ball. It was weird though, because with the patch, there was a bit of a misconception of what it did to dribbling. The game did feel a little bit heavier, but I think that was more server related. But the left stick wasn't really touched. It was just people's ability to just seal you out with jockey versus the tools you had to actually progress the ball forward. There was just nothing to counteract the jockey speed.
I mean, it was interesting for me reading what people were saying of, it needed to be nerfed because people were just tech dribbling and just zigzagging past the whole team. I actually don't think it's that strong in that sense. And I do see a misconception of people that hold down R1 and try and do the control speed for a little bit too long. Yeah. If you actually, for example, like you mentioned Lamine Yamal earlier, Aaron, but he's so good cutting in onto that left foot. If you actually do little touches so the ball always stays on the left foot and you're kind of doing little zigzaggy turns, but always staying on the left foot, that's when you get the benefit of it. And obviously, you talked about Bonmati again on the right foot, keep it on that right foot. People make the misconception that they turn too wildly and go left foot, right foot, left foot. And actually, it's not that controlled at all. It's actually quite a slow sprint. So definitely try and keep it on the same foot when you are tech dribbling for sure.
I think the biggest... Oh, go on, Aaron, go on.
It's like the perfect tool for beating those people that just run around with their CDMs as well.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Because when you beat their CDMs and you run through on towards their centre backs, if they don't switch into them, they would easily stop you if they switched into their centre backs. But because they don't, you just kind of breeze past them. It's like when you get the ball wide with someone like a Yamal, you're able to kind of cut back on yourself, then tech dribble between that, in that gap between their fullback and their centre back. And because they're trying to get back with the CDM, you just breeze through, you get to the byline, or you're able to just score an easy finesse shot across the goal.
I think people need to realise that technical dribble is the middle part between walking and sprinting. Once you realise that's what tech's for, because beforehand we never had it. So in FIFA it used to be walk or run, like your life depends on it. There was no like middle bit, and that's where this year in particular, before the patch came out and then the second patch came out, the tech was faster than a sprint, but you had way good control. That's why everybody was using it so much. You have to remember now it is the middle part between walking and sprinting. So, and another beautiful thing about technical as well is if you have got someone that's left-footed and they've got the ball on their right, move your left analog stick when they're walking to the left, then hit technical down. They don't switch feet. So if you want to control it with their dominant foot, it's only when you heavily turn with technical, it will switch to their other foot. And I think that's a massive skill gap in the game now. It's coming at people. Once you understand the concept of technical when it is on their main foot or their weak foot when you're teching, then you know, okay, if I want to get it on his left foot, I need to tech a little bit here, then left stick dribble, and then think about shooting or passing.
I'm really glad you said those two words, skill gap. So I'm guessing, in your opinion, Nanik, it definitely creates a skill gap having the controlled sprint boosted like this.
Yeah, I think so.
Aaron, you're already nodding.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, and I saw that in people's records. People that were 14 and 15s were dropping down. People that were 11, 12s were dropping down. Yet people that were 5 and 6 were going up. So there's something, if the lower end is going up and the top end's going down, you've lowered a skill gap, and I think it's balanced it quite well.
Nobody asked me how I did in champs, please. We're just getting the Arsenal team. We're going to skip that part.
That's when you know it sucked.
I hate that. The skill gap's gone. I hate it.
Oh, this game is skillless. I don't care what anyone says.
I basically had a stinker. If anyone wants to know on the Arsenal account, that's all I'm going to say.
So I know there'll be a lot of people that listen to everything we've just said and are probably thinking, yeah, what Nanik said, what Aaron has said, this is happening against me and I don't know how to defend against it. So I wonder then, people are obviously going to be using the controlled sprint more as we progress through the game, and the more people realise how important it is, people that maybe weren't using it before are definitely going to start using it. So if you're listening at home, definitely start using it and try and get practicing with it. What's the best way to actually defend someone then that's actually unleashing tech dribble?
If they've just broken past your midfield, I'd still recommend running back with your midfielder, because you will catch them eventually. That's the whole point of this now, that it's been balanced out. You will eventually still catch them. They will progress, but you will be able to catch them up. If you're using someone like the Busquets that's come out, you will eventually get back in there. If they are on the edge of your box and they start tech dribbling towards your centre back, you need to engage your centre backs at that particular moment in time. Otherwise, they're just going to walk straight past you. A lot of the time with the tech dribble, people are just going in straight lines. There's not an awful lot of this fidget spinner, peener inside the box. That's more the left stick, and that's more about your anticipation of that. The tech is more going to be on that, like kind of either like the diagonal or straight at you. So if someone's just holding it brainlessly, you'll easily take the ball off them if they're just going to try and go in a straight line through, as long as you switch into those centre backs.
I think what you said about the centre backs is crucial. I know that when I do play against people who don't control the centre backs, that's normally a bit of an indicator for me to actually start control dribbling at them and just like to the side, because I don't find the AI is going to make a real massive effort to stick out a leg. As soon as someone switches to a centre back, that's when I normally turn back and look for a different passing option, because it is a lot easier to defend when they're actually controlling. My biggest thing would be just don't overcommit. Like if you think they're going to go right, absolutely move a little bit to the right. But I've seen some people send their players way too far, and actually they don't even have to do anything. You've given them the space because you've committed too far and they haven't taken it. So absolutely control that player. Just try not to just overreact and overly guess. by overcommitting effectively.
I think people need to, like Aaron said about defending with the centre mid, let's say you get caught in a counter attack, people still naturally tech dribble for some reason when they're trying to find some space in the middle of the park. So when you are trying to defend that situation, still select whoever is your centre mid or your DM in that formation you have, and just run dead straight back to your own goal. Don't worry about if they're going slightly to the left or slightly to the right. Get that player back in position, because then you are ready to deal with his attack. Your player will get back faster than his AI will run forward, essentially, unless he's got two strikers in front of you. But we know he isn't going to pass that, because people don't want to get in this one-on-one situation with that. So keep that in mind. Let's say you have set up your defense and he is attacking. Still use your centre mid. I like to use my defender as the last possibility. It doesn't mean I run around with my DM the whole time. I do switch to centre back if they move to the edge of my box, because I like to be aggressive with attack and have my centre mid on the outside of the box. If they move the ball back, I then switch with them. So if they're taking steps back, I switch with my midfield. If they take a step towards my box, I switch to the centre backs. Just keep that as like a rule of thumb.
One of the things to remember is that if you're dragging your centre back or full backs out, they have a lot more control over the ball doing the tech dribble. So if you're playing someone good and you're dragging your centre back 10, 15 yards to try and take the ball back, they're going to see that, leave the technical, play the pass, and then they're in behind you. So dragging that centre mid back is just so important, or CDM. And like Nanik said, just go towards your own goal and just try and fill out that middle of the park, because that's where the most danger is going to be created.
And if all else fails, Aaron, you've got the best bit of advice to defend in
just grab him by the head and drag him down. That's a really effective. I think as well now. EA patched in the sense you can actually get red cards now. I actually got one the other day. I wish it was quite disappointing, but
furious about it. No,
because you used to be able to get away with murder for the first month of this game. Then you could pretty much foul someone one-on-one and you wouldn't get a red card at all. I don't think people used that to their advantage as much as you could. I think last year it was so easy to get a red card. People were scared to make the tackle, but this year you can just wipe people out and you barely get a yellow card. But again, like with not so much for your CDMs, I would try and avoid getting, yellows on your CDMs, because you can make more mistakes. But with your left mid, right mid, or even like your cam or strikers, it's freebie to drag them down.
So effectively what we're saying is don't be afraid to run back with your midfield, because you're going to be faster sprinting than they're going to be than they are going to be controlled sprinting. Don't be afraid to switch to your defenders basically on the edge of the box or inside your box. Don't leave it down to AI. And if all else fails, just drag them down. But if you do get red cards, then refer back to Aaron as the bad bit of advice.
Yeah.
And make sure you don't select your defender and drag them out to make the tackle. Always still go back with your centre mid, because that seems to be a real common thing. People drag the centre back. Oh my God, he's going to be through on goal. Let me get my centre back. That's what they're waiting for you to do immediately. You're going to get caught out with that.
And it's not just the centre back. When you drag that centre back out, you're in the AI in your back line. They all kind of try and shift across to plug the gap. So it opens up spaces wide, and then you've got the wrong centre back on the one side. So then even if you try and get your other centre back in position, they kind of clump together. So there's gaps between your full backs and your centre backs. It just messes everything up. You should only really touch the centre backs when they're in your box, really.
I don't know, I disagree. I go gung-ho 70 yards away from my goal and just go, absolutely, we're going to win it back high.
I've seen that firsthand as well. It's like a full-on sprint at the defender or the attacker. I'm going to get you. And then when you don't, you're like, I probably shouldn't have done that. And then it's the next centre-back. I'm coming to get you.
When you've got Isaac Torre as well, he's like having two centre-backs molded into one. He's massive.
So, we talked about the whole Barcelona team and players that we've got, because that's, who Aaron's always going to advocate for. Obviously, we've got to talk about then, you can either have a player that hasn't got technical at all as a playstyle. You've got players with the silver playstyle, and then we've got that elusive playstyle plus, where a few players have got that playstyle plus. Eat a crouch, what a man. So I think we'll start with then, the vast majority of my players actually don't have the playstyle. So I think I'll start with not having the playstyle. And I think people definitely look at the playstyles kind of like, okay, if they've got a playstyle, they can do things. And this is not just with tech, but if they've got the playstyle, they can do things. If they haven't, then it's effectively useless. But I definitely feel that the tech and the control dribble is one of those areas where, of course, it's going to be better if they've got a playstyle or playstyle plus, but it's definitely usable for those players that don't have it. if you use it in those ways that we talked about before, short bursts or just to get that yard of space over a long period of time or space on the pitch, I find if I do it over then 10 yards, that's where you can see it's not quite as good as your better players. But if you're just using it as kind of like a tap on, tap off, you definitely still get that little bit of a shift that is so much better now than pre-patch, 100%. So if you haven't got the Playstyle Plus, I would still be saying don't then just shy away from it, but then don't overly hold down R1 if you haven't got that playstyle.
It's still a bit better than sprinting everywhere. It just allows you to retain a much better control over the ball, so you can and it helps as well because essentially when you're sprinting around the pitch, you're reducing your own space, aren't you? And you're not giving your opponent enough time to make mistakes. You're just running straight towards them. So I've got an Evo for me that doesn't have it, but I'm always on the technical with him just because it allows me to still progress the ball quite nicely. There is, I feel, a big difference. The jump between not having it in the base is bigger than the jump from having the base to the plus, if you know what I mean. If you've got the base version of it, I think that's fine. But I use it just for progressing the ball, even if they don't have it, to be honest.
It's a tough one because for me, I immediately notice a difference between somebody that has it and someone that only has a white. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's where I'm using it in a specific area of the pitch. But I feel like if you've got it with someone that doesn't have it and you are heavily reliant on it in terms of how you transition in midfield to attack, you do notice it because they don't turn. They feel like they're in mud, I suppose would be the expression that everyone seems to use. Does feel like that. Whereas when somebody's got it as a white or a silver play style, for me it's like a mental thing. Oh my god, I know he's got text, so he's going to feel better. I've got no proof whether that's actually true or not, so I'm going to come out with that disclaimer immediately. But I've always convinced myself, right, I know he hasn't got it, so he's going to be crap at it, so I'm not going to do it. And it's not true. Well, maybe there is a little bit. There's for sure. Maybe they just go a little bit quicker than they would without it. So it's one of those. Whereas the plus, I think there's a massive difference. Like you can really tell. It reminds me of Messi, to be honest. When he runs with the ball, I feel like it should be just called the Messi play style, to be honest, because it does feel like that's what they're trying to do with it. And that is so important. Whereas when the game first came out, that was faster than a sprint, and you controlled the ball literally at your feet. Whereas people are asking, well, what's the point if they haven't got it? To when they have got it as a plus. If you don't have it, just remember, if you are sprinting, you're losing like 1-2 yards of commitment of the pitch when you're running. With a tech, you can turn within a couple yards and go, right, I want to change here because I'm going to get tackled. When they have it as a plus, you've got even more time to react because it's even closer to their feet and you're not covering as much ground in terms of not controlling the ball. And that's so important in the final third when you're trying to break someone down or you're trying to open up a different angle or just quickly turn on the spot to get a shot off. And that's what I like about technical this year compared to others.
I've actually pulled up the description on FootGG of what it actually does in terms of the EA description for it. So you reach a higher speed while performing the controlled sprint and performs wide turns while dribbling with more precision. And that's why you see people like Yamal that have the plus able to turn like on a 10 pence piece. When they've got it, you're able to just kind of dip in and out of it, as well as you can stay on it and turn quite effectively as well. But essentially what you're getting with the base and the plus, it just keeps on getting faster and you're able to do it more precisely.
And if you are a founder, you would have got that evolution that came out. It gives you technical plus at the end. So there is a real, if you haven't tried it on a player yet and you've got someone that you're thinking of evoing, not only do they get 5-star skill, it is a little good way to test without having to spend a lot of coins on a card and be like, oh, I don't like technical plus. So I know there's a few games or whatever, but there is a big incentive to try it now if you haven't.
Who do you put yours on, Nane?
Eze.
Not
my
Pele.
other one, and the other one was Pele, yeah.
Yes. Team Pele.
We ratted that out, like, yeah. 86 Pele, yes, please.
I'm not putting him into the other Evo, but him on that technical though, because he's got that icon body type, like what we spoke about with Upac in Turam. The way he feels doing the technical dribble is insane. So when you add additional dribbling stats to cards like that, and that's a big factor as well, the actual dribbling stat. If they've got really high dribbling, like a Bon Mati, and they're using the technical as well, you are really going to feel that benefit, how quick they turn on the ball.
Oh, I've not used mine on anyone yet. I'm waiting.
Well, you got Crouch, haven't you? That massive guy with technical plus. Why do you need it?
I don't need anyone else. I've got big boy Crouch.
That Crouch is a serious problem, by the way. Well, if he gets 99 pace, I'm not playing the game for a week.
Do you know what? I tell you what, I already know what they're going to give him. 99 dribbling, isn't it?
No, it'll be
They're giving him
99
tech.
physical. It'll be 99 physical. I can feel
Physical,
it.
after giving him tech.
Yeah. Have you met EA?
Yeah,
you
but
think-
No, I haven't actually. Who,
No,
who,
yeah,
who are they?
But yeah, those are upgrades we saw the other day. That's going to just spike the market like crazy, especially on those cards that have already amazing playstyles like tech.
I will say quickly as well, with Eze, he didn't have technical at all, and he felt horrible with it. As soon as he started Evo and had it, there was a humongous difference.
Yeah.
Normally, I'm not really one of these people like, oh, he's got finesse shot plus and white or none, especially after last year's title. But this year, it feels like there is a massive difference with them.
I do wonder whether body types will come into a play on whether, because it's how they move, isn't it? And whether they'll have a bit of a difference. I mean, Eze is average medium, so I don't know whether a player that is more lean, if they haven't got a tech dribble, whether they do just move that little bit nippier anyway. And why, I don't know.
I got the icon CC from the pre-order, and I think she has it as a Y, but she's got, in terms of in-game, the body type's fantastic for left-stick dribbling, and she always feels good on the turn. So if I wasn't too scared to ruin the pre-order bonus boost, I would have put it on her, but it isn't. You know, Pele's the one. So
I think that's why you see, like, on a pro level, everyone using Bon Mati.
yeah.
Is because of the combination with her stats, as well as she's 5'4", so she fits the meta perfectly. And yeah, you're just able to turn and then jump straight on the technical and go again with her. And she's got low driven and 5-star weak foot, which is just nuts again, isn't it? On top of that.
Well, I'm pretty sure that wraps up Technical Plus altogether. If you do have any questions about it, or you have your own opinions on tech, let us know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.